Hey guys, today I've got something pretty special with me. In a surprise release, MSI has collaborated with Capcom to come out with these 20th year anniversary themed Monster Hunter components for some of their most popular products. Here we have the MSI MAG Gungnir 300 case. We have the CoreLiquid 360 all-in-one liquid cooler. We have the 4060 Ti Gaming Slim. And in my opinion, the absolute highlight of this collaboration, the Z790 motherboard with an absolutely beautiful design of Rathalos, King of the Skies, on the chipset shield. So Rathalos has been in every Monster Hunter game since its release. It's sort of an icon of the franchise, and I think it's very appropriate that it's the main design feature of most of the components in this collaboration. I also think it's very fitting for MSI to be the manufacturer handling this collab, since their insignia has been a dragon for a while now. So, full disclosure, neither MSI nor Capcom have sent us any of these parts. We've sourced all these parts ourselves. MSI has not paid us, asked us, promoted us, or done anything for us to review this, and they will not be reviewing the video before it's released. This is strictly my opinion and our company's opinion of these parts. So today we're going to be unboxing these parts. We're going to do a build with it, which will be available on our website after this video releases. Then we'll run some thermal testing on Monster Hunter games, and yeah, let's get started. So first we're going to start with the motherboard. Oh, I'm excited for this. Oh yeah. Wi-Fi antenna. This. Now, before we get to the star of the show, I have a look at what's underneath here. Two SATA cables. One has a 90-degree bend there. And I think this is a USB 2.0 extender cable. I'm not too sure. It's very interesting. MSI included a quick start guide. It's tells you how to install your CPU cooler, your RAM, installing motherboard into the case. Oh, this is cool. I mean, I don't know what it is. Pause. I actually do know what this is. This is the Hunter's Journal from the games. The more you know. To celebrate the 20th anniversary of Monster Hunter, MSI has just like hunters who slay challenging monsters as milestones. I think these are for the smaller M.2 drives that you might install, just so you can get that shorter securing pin. Nice metal USB 3, a sticker sheet with your labels for better cable managing, and some stickers. All right, here we go. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Oh, in real life, it's even better. I'm just gonna appreciate this for a second. This print is beautiful. Unfortunately, I would not be taking these flaps off because technically this is still a product that we are selling. Now, one of the features I thought was quite interesting is MSI has this screwless M.2 shield over here. You just take that off, and it's got a little latch here to secure it. And then when you're ready, you just pop that back on, latch down. Now, for this build, we have a i5 14600K. I feel like this would pair very nicely with the 4060 Ti. To stay on theme, we've chosen Kingston Fury Beast RGB with 32 gigabytes, 1600 mega transfers, DDR5. They'll go with the board quite nicely. And for storage, we have Crucial's P3 1TB M.2 SSD. So using the toolless M.2 shield, take that off. We have free will for a reason, and I'm gonna take the thermal pad stickers off. So I wanna talk about the motherboard a little bit. It can support up to 5 M.2 SSDs, 1 PCIe Gen 5, and 4 PCIe Gen 4s. There is also a PCIe Gen 5 16 slot here. For rear I/O, we have a pretty comprehensive suite here. We have 4 USB Type-A, 5 gigabits per second, 4 USB Type A 10 gigabits per second with a flash BIOS, 1 USB Type C 10 gigabits per second, and 1 USB Type C 20 gigabits per second. We also have 2.5 gigabit LAN, Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.2, and then also a comprehensive suite of audio jacks. So here we have the MAG CoreLiquid 360 AIO. This is probably the piece I am least excited for, but it still will be cool, no doubt. You get another one of these little books, same with the EU regulation notice. This aside. The radiator, got the pump block here. You get 3 of MSI's fans included. They are RGB and they do have the Monster Hunter 20th anniversary sticker on there as well, very nice touch. And you have your assortment of mounts and your triple fan connector here. Oh, that's actually quite nice. You got the symbol of the classes here. Now, unlike a lot of modern AIOs, this one doesn't come with thermal paste pre-installed, which is kind of a letdown. It does come with thermal paste in the box. Might not give us the best performance, but it's gonna give us the as intended performance. So it turns out only one of them have the 20th anniversary sticker on them. I'll make sure to put this one in the middle. And very nicely, I quite like this inclusion. They put 3M tape on the side that goes in the back so that when you're installing it, it doesn't just fall off. I will be using that. So for Intel, it seems that you slip these, and we get these teeny tiny screws, and you just secure it. Cool. Now we have all of our fan connectors in one bundle and our RGB connectors in one bundle. Here we have the case. The box is so big, it doesn't really fit on the table properly. So we're gonna unbox it. Look at this. I like this a lot more than I thought I would. And here we have some more accents on the glass, the footprints of the monsters that you follow. That's very cute. Just gonna lay a mat here for protection. Now it is padded on these sides here. Personally like fish tank cases a lot more, but this is really nice. So we got the 20th anniversary sticker on the rear fan here. It does come with 4 fans included, 1 at the rear and 3 at the front. Just so we make sure we are protecting this case. Just slides right in. So they definitely did consider to have enough space between the radiator and fan up here in relativity to here. That's why they put the 3 fans at the front. Another one of these cards, you can give these to your friends, I guess, because you're gonna have so many of them. This is a vertical GPU mount. We're not gonna be needing this for this build. And just your quick start guides and all your screws in one place. And they throw in some zip ties for you as well. You get a big ass screwdriver in the form of an Allen key. That's pretty nice. Thread all of these cables through to the top grommets up here. Let's have a talk about fan configuration while we're here. You can put 3 140s at the front or 3 120s. You can put 2 140s at the top. You can't put 3 because there's not enough length this way, but you can put 3 120s. Same goes with heat sinks. You can put up to a 360mm AIO up top or a 280. You can also put a 360 here in push and pull, so there is enough space for that. But I think what we have here is going to be perfectly sufficient. Truth be told, one of my least favorite activities is screwing radiators to things, but sometimes we gotta get our socks wet to enjoy the rain. Alrighty, with all of those installed, flip the case over. Undo the thumb screw at the top. Everything comes cable managed for you pretty nicely. I'm gonna pull all of these AIO cables through now. So we have 3 cable tie down points here. Standard ATX power supply here. It's also this little foam pad here that holds the GPU in place so it doesn't rock around even if you have it secured. That's pretty nice. And then you also have 4 foam feet down here to pad the power supply a little bit. Nice touch. Up here, we do have a fan and RGB hub. We have 4 ARGB extra connectors here. These 2 down here plug into the motherboard. Then we have our suite of front IO connectors, USB-C, HD audio, front panel connector in a unified connector. Thank God, I love that. And a USB 3.0. For the front IO, we have mic and audio in, 1 USB Type-C 3.2 slot, 2 USB Type-A 3.2 slots, and you also have an RGB controllable button here that controls the RGB throughout the case. These are for all the fan connectors. We are going to just leave this in place. We're not going to mess with this because they've already done a good job of dealing with that for us. I've always been a little bit on the fence about these cable routing columns, I guess you could call them. NZXT has something like this, and it does hide the cable very well. It adds some accent, some interesting texture and dimension to this side of the case, which is normally empty. I never thought they look that good, but it looks all right here. I feel like NZXT likes to highlight it quite a bit. In their cases, you get some different coloration. This one's just black, and it's quite low profile as well. Doesn't make it too unsightly. The ARGB header goes in here. Front panel goes here. Then we have system fan to number 5. Why not? For the power supply, we'll be using this one, the MAG A850GL PCIe 5. So in the name, this does support PCIe Gen 5, the power connector, natively, which will be nice. We don't have to use a adapter cable. And this power supply is fully modular, so we can decide what we need and what we don't need and go from there. You get this nice looking pouch that will house all of your connectors here. Now that foam piece down here is going to make sure it lines up very easily, very perfectly, first try. So this one doesn't have the removable bracket, which is a shame, but you know, I think the foam bits make up for it. Power for the fan hub. Just put these through here, like so. I'm gonna flip it around now, connect everything, and we are basically good to go. More than enough space here to jam my little fingers in and plug in the CPU power connector. With some cases, once you put a radiator at the top, really hard to plug these CPU, really hard if not impossible actually, to plug these CPU cables in and take them out. No one's having fun. And that's in. Perfect. Now, last thing to do before we install the graphics card is to just plug in the pump and the RGB for the pump. The only thing is figuring out how to route these cables, and honestly, as far as your imagination can take you, I've seen some insane ways that people have routed these cables. And finally, the motherboard was exciting. This is just as exciting. Let's have a look at what's inside here. Ooh. Okay, we have the 4060 Ti in its own box. We're gonna put this aside for now. We have another box. This is empty. And we have the controller. Now, I'm actually not gonna unbox this. I'll throw up a picture for you here. This will be for the lucky customer who ends up purchasing this system. We have more important matters to attend to first. Namely, that is this guy. All right, let's have a look. Whoa, we get something nice here. Big envelope. Haven't gotten this in any of the other pieces so far. In it, we have, oh wow, we have a nice pouch. I believe this is a potion. No, that's really cool. Again, we'll not be opening this, unfortunately, but I believe this is a little sling bag. There's a zipper here and a paracord. That's really cool. And yep, another little book. I'll pop this back in here. All right, I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. Okay, well, that's anticlimactic. Well, I see it is definitely different from a regular gaming slim. Alrighty. Oh, wow. Okay. Yep. It is definitely a limited special anniversary edition one. Once again, we have Rathalos, King of the Skies, on this beautiful graphics card. Got some extra details here. Nothing really on the side, but the back. Oh man, that is wicked. I wish you could see this as detailed as I can. I think the only shame is I would not be taking the peel off, but even then, you got this translucent red plastic with these black splatters across it. Very true to style. 20th anniversary, MSI, Rathalos. Oh man. That's interesting. Seems I have made a mistake. This 4060 Ti just uses a simple 8-pin PCIe connection. So we're gonna have to fix that up in the power supply, but other than that, this is an absolutely beautiful card. The red light there, it looks amazing. In the box also, this is very nice. I will be installing this. It is a graphics card holder. It would be installed like this. Oh wow, that is very cool. I like this a lot. Let's get this installed into the build. Moment we've all been waiting for. This. Now, before we install the GPU, we're gonna have to rotate this PCIe holder here. Otherwise, the graphics card is not going to be able to go in. There we have it. Let's plug the power connector in. Beautiful, perfect, everything I wanted. All right, let's start her up. Just booting up Monster Hunter Worlds now. We're gonna see how the performance is like. Now, Monster Hunter Worlds is a much more GPU-bound game. So we're seeing 54% usage on the 4060 Ti and around 15% usage on the 14600K at 35 degrees. We're staying well within operational temperatures and everything is looking pretty stable. We're hitting 60 degrees Celsius and the fans are kicking in. Speaking of fans kicking in, running some harsher tests on the CoreLiquid 360 with AIDA64, we do see some pretty stable temperatures on the 14600K. Now we are running stock clock speeds with a default fan curve, benchmarking at an average of mid to high 60 degrees Celsius at 100% usage. And on our beloved Donut of Death, we are seeing similar temps on the GPU. Now, this performance is pretty typical for 4060 Ti's. They don't run too hot. Clocking at 2.5 GHz, a triple fan setup works wonders, looking at low 60s average with hotspots of low 70s. Overall, flagging a Fairmark rating of just below 10,000. Very respectable, but overall pretty average results on this GPU. This has been a special build. I've enjoyed this very, very much. I appreciate all the attention to detail, all the nice inclusions that you get, the respectable build quality, and most of all the magnificent prints of Rathalos, King of the Skies on the motherboard, on the graphics card, on the rear of the case. I think MSI and Capcom have really tried and put in the work to make sure this is an appropriate homage to 20 years of Monster Hunter, and I think they've succeeded. I think any Monster Hunter fan will be really happy to see what they've done here. In this collaboration, there's also a laptop and a monitor. Unfortunately, we weren't able to nab those, but I think this set of components are perfectly adequate if you're a fan of Monster Hunter. I will say the design on the front casing of the laptop is also absolutely beautiful. Some things I wanted to talk about: building in the Gungnir 300 case. It's not exclusive to the collaboration. I believe this is also in the standard case, which is this GPU stand here. It's really nice inclusion. It's got tons of adjustability. You can move these up and down. You can turn this and you can lock it, and it has integrated RGB. I think having this included in the case built in is a very nice touch. Out of the box, they're also routed very nicely, very evenly, and it makes cable managing a breeze. The included RGB and fan hub is really nice to see. The overall layout also allows for very comfortable cable managing, especially the Velcro clips at the back. They secure those nasty CPU cables that sometimes, in some cases, just dangle around and is not very nice. This one, also, I really like these footprints on the side of the case. It's also on the glass panel. It creates sort of a 3D effect because it's etched on the glass panel. The only thing I'm sad about is that you don't get to see the motherboard design with the GPU attached. This is going to block most of it. You can't see wrath gloss at all. And while you do have a similar print on the graphics card, the motherboard one is just on another level. I think the motherboard and GPU would look fantastic in the Lee SUPO1 case that we reviewed last time, where you can see the motherboard design very clearly and the GPU backplate all in one sort of a view. So this video was more of a build video than a review. Either way, I really like this. 8 out of 10. The only thing I'm not the biggest fan of is the front of the case. I think it's a little bit uninspired, but other than that, I would just be torn between showing this or showing the other side. Like, both sides look beautiful. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to keep this one. We'll have this build available for purchase on our website. We ship Australia wide, and since it's already built by yours truly, it's ready to ship when you are. If you're a Monster Hunter fan or a casual enjoyer like me, be sure to let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Like if you'd like, subscribe for clout, and I'll see you next time.